OC Financial Media presents, in association with CHL Mortgage, as heard on KTLK AM1150, from LA to Orange County.
Your host, Dino Katsiametis.
It's about your real estate. It's about your money. From your estate to real estate, it's Money Matters with Dino.
Welcome back to Money Matters with Dino on K-Talk AM1150. We're here every Saturday afternoon from 12 to 1. And if you have any questions at all about anything you hear here today, either, did that make sense? Here today?
No.
Anything you hear today, just give us a call at 949-720-1616. That's 949-720-1616. Or you can check us out online at moneymatterswithdino.com. This next segment is brought to you by CFAM Credit Solutions. Guys, these are the guys that help clean up your credit. Some of you, God bless you, you don't have any problems, but many of you have these you're good people, you pay your bills on time, but you have these little crazy $29 collection accounts that you didn't even know, either a cable company when you moved or perhaps a doctor bill that you thought your insurance covered. And now your credit score has dropped because of it, and you don't qualify for the best interest rate you can, either on your house or your car or a credit card. I'm telling you, spend the money, take the time, do whatever it takes, but get these things resolved, because these things will end up costing you thousands of dollars in the long run. Go to my website, moneymatterswithdino.com. They're right there on the homepage, CFAM Credit Solutions. Just click on the button, tell them I sent you, and they'll take really good care of you. So today we're doing something a little bit different. Normally, it's I'm the host of the show, and I ask all the questions, and I bring on the professionals to answer them all. But today we're going to do something a little bit different. I want to introduce Mike Warren. He's my business partner and CEO of OC Financial Media. And I'm actually going to bring him on today to be the moderator and ask the questions of the panel of experts. So the panel of experts today, I am proud to announce your first expert is me. How about that? So I'm actually gonna be on the hot seat today, and our next guest, and I'm proud to also announce him because he's such a great guy, is Nick Roshdieh from Sotheby. Welcome to the show, Nick.
Thanks for having me.
So are you ready for this?
I am more than ready.
Well, before we get ready, though, I want to ask you, tell me a little bit about what you do and what area you work and the company you work with and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. I work with Sotheby's in Laguna Beach. I specialize in selling real estate, specifically luxury real estate as well. I work pretty much up and down the coast in Orange County and a few different areas in Los Angeles County as well.
Excellent. And how long have you been in real estate?
Now combined from when I started part-time to full-time, about 12 years.
Okay, good. So you hopefully you know what you're talking about here today, and you're going to be able to educate our listeners a little bit.
I like to think so, yes.
Well, the reason why we met is because I was told that you are an expert in what you do, and you're very thorough and very good at it. So thank you for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
So, Mr. Mike Warren.
Yes.
How are you, sir?
You know, if I complain, nobody would care anyway. So I am doing great.
For everybody listening right now, I may sound mean for a second, and this isn't what you guys usually know me as, but
here it comes.
There's a reason why Mike Warren isn't on this side of the microphone, and it has nothing to do with his verbal skills, because he's actually very good at that. But even though this is just radio, we got cameras on us, and we got it. We're all over YouTube now on our station, Power Players Radio. And, you know, as they say, Mike Warren has a face for radio.
Oh, man.
So
evidently, I have the height for it, too. So.
Yeah, we got him sitting on a phone book. Anyway, Mike Warren, take it away.
Okay, guys. So this section, this segment, I should say, is about buying and selling real estate at the best price by integrating technology. So, along with, buying and selling real estate these days, you have to be using every, advantage in the marketplace that you can. And technology is by far the biggest advantage that you can get besides referral marketing. So with that in mind, let's jump right in. And first question is, how are each of you using technology in your business? And I'd really like to direct this to Nick first, and then we'll jump in with you, Dino.
Absolutely. Technology is a big part of my business. We use technology for not a main way of getting business, but mainly to stay in good contact with the clients and parlay that with the relationship. So, we don't rely on technology. However, if used correctly, technology and having that personal relationship with a client can really propel, your business to a different level. And that's how I pretty much use it for myself and the agents on my team.
So you have a website, obviously, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And do you direct people to your website when you're, when you first meet them? Does that happen?
It does. I direct people to our website. We have two specific websites. One is for sellers and one for buyers. So one is obviously geared for only clients who are looking to list their home. I do direct them over there because there's a lot of good materials about us, marketing, what we do, why list with us for the sellers over there. So they can read a little bit about us, be informed with regards to our professional services prior to me going to their home and seeing their home and visiting with them and, ask them why they're selling and where they're moving to.
Okay. All right. Dino?
I'm a little different. I actually don't use technology all that much. Obviously, I do within my office as far as getting the loans to go through and communicating properly with everybody involved, because there's so many people that are required in order to actually close a loan. But as far as like marketing purposes, looking for business, I really don't. And there's a couple of reasons why I don't. One, some of the bigger banks that you see advertising all the time on the radio, they have a very small box. And if you fit within that box, it's no problem. They will do your loan. My specialty, I guess you can say, is a little bit more of a lot of self-employed people, a lot of people that, I don't want to say have challenges, but they may have multiple houses, they may have a business, they may have a divorce, they may have things that require just a little bit of a higher level. And I found that when you're too dependent on the website or on your technology only, you lose that personal touch. And I absolutely, maybe it's just the old school in me, but I can't work that way. I need to know everything about that client. I want to understand them. I want them to thoroughly understand me so we can actually have good communication. And I've seen too many people in my industry that don't take the time to actually talk to the client and really get to know what's going on. And then problems always end up, coming up down the road.
Okay. So this is probably a little off topic based on what we're talking about right now, but let's talk about search engine optimization and pay-per-click and some of the other things that people use, and probably both of you are getting hit up for all the time by various companies. People are out there saying you got to optimize your website, you got to pay for lead generation, things like that. How do you guys integrate that into what you're doing, Nick?
With regards to search engine optimization, that is basically for example, when you go to Google, the websites to the left, those are what we call SEO or search engine optimization. Search engine optimization are websites that are getting optimized by Google to be pushed to the top of the positioning with regards to page 1 or 2 of Google. Basically, that the websites that are in the top are websites that have good content that Google likes, as well as someone that's blogging about what they do, and they have good information that they post on Google, and they have a lot of followers that read what they put on Google. So
do you do that for your sites, both your sites that you use?
Not as much SEO. We used to, but it's a lot of work, to be frank with you. And what you see is that people do that just to be put in front of Google, and that's their sole purpose. So in order to achieve that goal, what we do is pay-per-click. Pay-per-click are the websites to the left, and they are basically websites created and put in specific Google AdWords that buyers are looking for when they search for a home, and based on how much you're willing to pay, per day, that determines what position you will have with regards to being on page 1 of Google.
So basically, when somebody types in real estate Mission Viejo, what happens? If you're an agent that is on pay-per-click and you're contributing finances towards, a daily dues with Google to be pushed to the top of the pay-per-click on Google, then your website will be one of the top 2 or 3 that will appear on page 1 of Google. And based on how much the buyers like your website, how friendly it is, how easy it is for them to maneuver, then obviously you'll be able to catch that client's information to possibly work with them. So, Dino, you were saying that you don't use your website or technology as the major part of your marketing push. So, how do you go about building relationships and getting new clients?
So there's 2 ways. One, I depend mostly on my referral network, and that includes real estate agents, CPAs, financial planners, attorneys. And the reason why is because they're trusted advisors already. So when somebody like Nick has a client that he's already spent some time developing a relationship with, and then he tells them, listen, you have to go get pre-qualified with Dino. You have to talk to him. He will help you through this process. Those guys, they already, I don't want to say they already trust me, but they do in a way because their trusted advisor led them to me. And I guess the easy way to say it is I don't go through what a lot of other lenders go through because I don't have to sell my clients on anything, and I don't have to lie to them in order to get them. Because a lot of these advertisers, a lot of these people that you see on all these billboards and in other forms of media, they lie. I mean, I look at these sometimes and my gosh, I'm like, that's impossible to do.
You mean 2.75 on a 30-year fix is not available today?
So, but they do, and then they know damn well that they can say it now because later, by the time you get them their paperwork and you go through the process and you've invested some time and money and all that, I'm sorry, the rates went up and it doesn't exist anymore. I'd rather lose a client up front than lie to them. So, Nick,
what's better for you, internet marketing or using pay-per-click or building relationships? What's the best way for you to find clients?
The top 3 would be all building relationships. Our business is a relationship business, and as Dino mentioned, that's the really the only way of being able to have a business plan and a model that grows and succeeds. With regards to internet advertising, that's a good way to meet new clients. However, it circles back down to having relationships and being referred to by clients over and over again.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Websites are filled with all kinds of widgets and graphs and charts and crazy things to try and draw the attention of a searcher into that website. One of the most interesting ones that I've always used over the years is going into the mortgage calculators. They're always the most fun because I'm always trying to figure out, man, can I afford that $2 million house and how much is it going to cost me? So on your websites, do you guys use calculators and some of these other widgets that are out there? Dino, can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so I'd say everybody has them. I mean, everybody has those calculators now, and they're useful. But I always tell my clients to always call me. I'd rather take the time and spend a few moments with them. And the reason why is because nothing is ever as simple as it sounds. There's always something. For example, down in Orange County, you could use the average for tax rate at 1.01% or what the heck, go up a little bit, 1.1%. But then you go to a place like Ladera Ranch and it's on upwards of 1.7, 1.9, even 2% sometimes. So when somebody is trying to figure out their monthly payment, unfortunately, the average person doesn't always look at every one of the details. They might look at what their principal and interest payment is, but they don't equate in what their insurance payment is. They don't equate in what their tax payment is, their HOA payment. And when somebody calls me and we talk, I let them know, listen, there's 2 aspects of your payment. One is the principal and interest payment. The other one is your taxes, insurance, and HOA and anything else. And if you have PMI, and one could figure out $120 a month for PMI when it's really $320. And the average person can't figure that out on those calculators.
Got it. Okay, guys, we got to take a break. We're going to come right back in a couple minutes. Dino, you want to take us out of this segment?
Yep. Thank you for listening. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. If you want to get a hold of myself or Nick, we can be reached at 949-720-1616. That's 949-720-1616. Or check us out online at moneymatterswithdino.com. All of Nick's information will be right there on the homepage or on past guests. And once again, this segment was brought to you by CFAM Credit Solutions. We'll be right back.
If you're a business owner or have a high net worth, it's important you have the proper insurance coverages. However, from a financial standpoint, it's even more important to have someone else pay the premiums for you. That's right, it's called insurance premium financing. In short, it means we use a combination of loans and secured assets to fund the payment of your premiums for your life insurance coverage. With this unique program, there's no need to pay expensive annual insurance premiums or estate taxes out of pocket or out of your company's cash flow. Your assets remain intact, protected from creditors, while your family and business receive the security they need. I'll bet you'd like more information. Simply call James Burns at 866-544-8825. That's 866-544-8825. Or go to whitediamondinsurance.com.
Finally, a reputable legal firm. CDA Law Center, a nationally recognized nonprofit homeowner advocate, one of the most trusted firms in the country for helping consumers with their loan modification process. CDA's attorneys have decades of combined experience guiding their clients through the very complex and choppy waters of loan modification. Call 877-499-4435, 877-499-4435. Finally, honest and ethical advice to gain real results. Call CDA Law Center at 877-499-4435. That's 877-499-4435. Or check them out online at cdalawcenter.com.
Mortgage professionals, are you looking for a company that values you as a loan officer? One that can provide you with the tools you need to grow your business at your pace? Then look no further than CHL Mortgage. CHL Mortgage provides you with a full range of residential loan products and services. You'll be backed by an exceptionally trained team of professionals that can take your clients as seriously as you do. Your clients will be treated with dedicated service, personal integrity, and exceptional professionalism. You'll be able to guide them in the right loan with competitive rates and keep them on the road to achieving life's goals. To get started on advancing your career, call Dino with CHL Mortgage at 949-720-1616. That's CHL Mortgage, 949-720-1616.
Welcome back to Money Matters with Dino on K-Talk AM1150. As much as I love to hear my name on the show, today we have Mr. Mike Warren asking the questions. And I'm sorry if it's just not as entertaining as good as usual, because Mike's kind of asking these questions here. But it is what it is.
Dry.
Yeah, we had to give him a little bit of something because he was complaining about not having enough to do as the CEO. And
yeah, I get stuck behind the production line most of the time. So
all right. So before we get started with the questions again, if you have anything you want answered, either from me or Nick, give us a call at 949-720-1616. That's 949-720-1616. Or check us out online at moneymatterswithdino.com. And this next segment is brought to you by Citywide Home Loans. Guys, Citywide Home Loans right now in this market is definitely the bank that you want to deal with. And there's a few reasons why. One, of course, they got the lowest rates. Of course, they got the best service. Of course, they got everything that everybody wants to hear. But
they have you.
But yeah, I was going to say they have me. and quite honestly, whether it's me or somebody in my office, we're going to give you that one-on-one attention and personalized attention that you need. But we also have a stated income program that is back. It's not for everybody. You got to be able to put enough money down on the house, 30% minimum, or if you're refinancing, again, 30% equity. You got to have a 680 credit score, and we do go up to $1.5 million. So it's one of those things that not very many people have. And if you're that self-employed person or somebody that is maybe, I don't know, a little too aggressive on your tax returns, and can't quite qualify with one of the bigger banks, give us a call. I think we can help you out.
Why did you look at me when you said that?
I wasn't. I was looking at you, listening right now.
Oh, okay.
All right, Mike.
I got worried.
Roll.
I was like, oh man, here we go, another audit. Here it comes. Okay, guys. So in the last segment, we were talking about some of the widgets and things that people use on their websites and how you attract clients. And Dino, you were talking about how you really like to get the client in front of you or on the phone and go through the numbers. Nick, how do you go about doing that with your clients? What's the best approach that you guys use?
The best approach is face-to-face. So, work on scheduling an appointment with them. And I usually meet my clients in the office or at their property if they're a seller, and just sit down with them for about 45 minutes and ask lots of questions from the client so I can really understand what they're looking to accomplish and, put a game plan together for them.
So during the break, you were telling us that you have a team of people that work in your office, but you also have a proprietary software that you guys have either developed or use, and that's how you use technology with your clients. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, we have a CRM in which it integrates with our MLS, and buyers on the other side are able to use all our MLS's search features to really look for a property that may be in a specific area with specific criterias, and we use that technology to be able to interact with a buyer and give them the ability to really look for that unique property that may be a horse property with a single level home with a special lot. So we use that to always be able to cater to the buyer's need with regards to their searches. But most importantly, we let them know that computer is only going to take you so far. We're here to help, and that's why you want to help of a professional to assist you get your new home. So
when visitors come to your website, how are you capturing their interest and their information so that you can get in touch with those people? Buyers or sellers have the ability to go to our website and get information or search for properties, and we simply once they've been on our website maybe once or twice, we just simply come out and ask them for their information, so that way we can help them further accomplish whatever it is they're looking for. If it's just window shopping for properties, or if they're in a little bit of a time capsule in which they have to buy a property within a certain time. Got it. So Dino, doing loans is a little different from a technology standpoint, because it's not like people are going to the site to look at a home or figure out the bedrooms or anything else. They're really trying to figure out where they're at in the loan process and approximately when they're going to close or when they're going to finish their loan. How do you and your team manage, let's say a pipeline of 5 or 10 people that are doing loans with you guys?
Well, that's easy. I said I don't use technology much, but I mean more on the marketing side of things, on the inside, on the work aspect of it, getting your loan through, communicating properly with my team in order to be efficient with everybody. There's tons of software that we use in order to expedite the process, in order to have clear communication. And thanks to technology, we're actually able to work remote with many people. For example, our corporate office is in Utah. And we have processors and underwriters not only in Utah, but throughout the United States. And it just doesn't matter anymore if they're right next to you. I'm still, I guess some of my team calls me high maintenance, just because I like to have them right there.
No, not you.
Sometimes I like to walk right into the office and be like, what is going on with the Jones file? And but the fact of the matter is the team is spread out a little bit. And we have underwriters everywhere. So it's something now, thanks to technology, that we can be a heck of a lot more efficient, because although I do have an underwriter right here, in the office next to me, if she gets too busy, we simply take the file and we email it over to the underwriter in Louisiana or Texas or wherever, and that way we can get it done a little bit faster.
So, if the goal of using technology is to understand your customers better, do you guys use texting as well as emails and things like that? Because I know that a lot of text to phone and things like that are pretty big in the marketplace, but I don't see a lot of loan officers using that. I do see a lot of real estate and realtors using that. Do you use any technology like that?
No, only with my wife. No, I actually can't stand it because I do have clients that text me all the time, and I obviously text all the time too, but it actually slows me down because my headset and my computer and my tools are all inside of me, and I can typically talk and type at the same time on the computer or read emails and do stuff, but for some reason I can't talk and text at the same time. I don't know why I can't do it. So it slows me down too much. So I prefer email and telephone.
Okay. Nick, tell me about your site a little bit more. You have 2 websites, correct? Do you guys do any blogging on those sites, or are they just strictly listing sites and buying sites and basic information?
We do a little bit of blogging, but mainly just listing site and buyer sites.
Okay. And when people go in there, the things that you guys talk about, if you're gonna put a blog out there, what would you put on that blog? What kind of things do you guys talk about?
Always information. People are always seeking out to get information with regards to real estate market, maybe specific areas. So we only put out information for our clients to educate them and make sure they're informed.
Okay. So, some people are responding better to face-to-face other than emails. This market is moving so fast right now. How are both of you guys keeping up with what's going on? I know, Nick, that there's multiple offers going on in properties right now. A lot of cash buyers are beating out people with loans. How do you, with technology, how do you communicate with your clients fast enough so that an offer is accepted? And Dino, you too, getting a loan through the system fast enough so that people aren't losing out on a property?
That's a great question. So basically what we do is if there's a client interested, to put an offer on a property, again, it goes back to relationship and communication. I always contact the agent, have a chat with them via telephone, let them know about my client. So then that way they're well informed with regards to who my client is, who's representing the client. And obviously you have to be on the ball with regards to, taking the client to the property as soon as possible. If they like the property, prepare an offer and get it to the listing agent as soon as possible. But you will see that most good agents are not ones to jump on the very first offer that comes in. They will, take their time and gather information. And if it's a scenario where it's multiple offer situation, they will end up going with an offer whose agent has done a good job, explaining who their client is, representing their client, as well as a buyer who is the right buyer for that home. So a good agent will look for all those things before they accept an offer, and that may not necessarily be the first or the second offer that comes in 2 hours after the home is listed.
Right. So Dino, here's a question.
I actually want to jump in real quick on that.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm going to just plug Nick here for a second, but only because it's something I firmly believe in. In my industry, everybody thinks of my client as the person looking for the home and needs the loan, but there's also all the agents that I have to work with on a regular basis, and there's always 2 agents, or typically, the buyers and the sellers agents. And I got to tell you, as far as making a transaction go smooth, it really helps when you don't have one of these part-timers that decided the market's doing great, so they're going to get back into real estate. Honestly, I always view it as just get the heck out of the business. Leave it to the professionals. Let's just make this a nice, clean, smooth transaction with people that know what they're doing. So all these things that always pop up that happen that cause problems, the majority of the time it's because there's somebody involved that doesn't know how to handle things the right way. And that's the one thing I really like about how Nick works. He's a businessman, not a real estate agent. He just happens to sell homes, but he does it in a business-like manner. And right now in this market, the market's insane. There's offers on the houses within minutes of them going on the market. So how does one get their offer accepted? And I can tell you right now that part-timer, even if they offer the highest price, chances are they're not going to get the offer accepted. It's the agent that understands the business of real estate that gets those offers accepted for their clients.
So, Dino, we were talking about technology and how we use that in your practice. Now, you promise a 15-day closing on real estate transactions and working with your realtors. How exactly do you do that?
First of all, I don't promise anything. No, there's it's one of those things where I don't say, call me today and 15 days from now I'll have a loan for you, because every situation is totally different. So what I do is, if a person's out looking for a house, it's very simple. Their agent or whoever it was that referred them over gets them over to me ahead of time. I go over the whole file. I don't just look at it and issue a pre-qualification letter. I look at it. I go through it in detail. I get it submitted properly to the underwriter and get an actual underwriter approval. The difference there is that once I have that underwriter approval, we're actually done. We're ready to go. The only thing that you need now is a house. You find me the house. I'll back it up with the appraisal, which will take me 5-6 days to do. And you get your home inspections done during the same time. And then we make sure that there's clear title on it. And that's it. We can close. And to be honest with you, 15 days is actually super easy. We can do that in a 10-day span. So the importance of this is that when you're out there making offers and you're going in 30-day close of escrow, and you have the 17-day loan contingency and 17-day appraisal contingency and all the rest of the stuff that everybody else does, guess what? You're just like everybody else. And who always beats you? The cash buyers, because there's a ton of cash buyers right now. Well, right now, if you go in and you offer the same price as those guys, and you say 15-day close of escrow, and you do a 10-day or even less appraisal contingency, and you do no loan contingencies, guess what? Even though you're getting financing through me, it's just like a cash offer. And ever since I started doing that, my clients' offers have been getting accepted at a much higher speed.
Well, that's pretty amazing stuff. Now, we got to go to break again, and when we come back, we'll be talking a little bit more about technology and how to use it.
Yeah, and just kind of a perfect ending to that is that segment was brought to you by Citywide Home Loans, also known as CHL Mortgage here in California. If you guys have any questions at all, either regarding a loan or you'd like to speak to me or Nick, our phone number is 949-720-1616. That's 949-720-1616, or check us out online at moneymatterswithdino.com.